Come now, Melian. Daddy has a new place you can play when you're bored. After the rejection of your mother and the house she was building, your father took you into the caves. Speaking with multiple creatures, hiding away when needed, and dodging drow patrols, your father risked everything to keep you safe. Years pass, and you and your father have made a home for yourselves, miles away from Enzo, away from the drow patrol, away from the in and outs of the city. Day in and out, he did everything he could to bring you up to be as well equipped to survive as possible. Teaching you how to hunt, how to use a bow, and most of all, how to survive off your environment. The sound of your loving father can be heard echoing throughout an unfamiliar tunnel. You left your small home a few hours ago, and you're beginning to grow very tired. He begins to walk further ahead and begins running into the forest, yelling, "Come on, Melian! I see something over here we can play with." What would you like to do?
Um, I mean, he's her father, and uh, she's kind of blindly trusting him at this point in time, and just continues running in that direction.
Looking towards where your father ran, you see an opening to a large forest. The trees seem to be made up of a mixture of fungal and flesh material. 100 feet up, a beige-colored gas can be seen hovering near the roof of this cavern. As Ruyn, kind of entering into this forest, what are you thinking? Explain to me how and what Melian at this time, as that is your birth name,
Hmm.
what would she be feeling? What would she be doing?
She's kind of looking around, trying to see if she can actually find her father. Um, the trees are a little odd to her. They've spent the vast majority of her life in the caves. And she's nervous and a little bit frightened. Um, though she is most definitely still looking for her father.
Okay. I would like you to make a perception check. Just use the stat that you have now.
Oh, okay. Uh, do. And that is a 22.
Okay. Looking around, the further that you move into this forest, the further lost you become. You have been taught how to track, how to survive in a multitude of different areas. However, this one is unnatural. The trees seem to move and shift in the dirt, almost as if it is alive, but not alive. Other than that, I would say you see a pathway to where your father could have ran.
She will follow that pathway because, um, while yes, she has been trained to track and whatnot. Like you said, this is an unfamiliar forest, and she is still roughly 6 or 7 at this point mentally. So very much a daddy's girl. Going to look for.
You follow the path and you find no trace of your father anywhere. You begin to yell for him, attempting to try to call out to see if he is out there, and scream as you might.
Papa? Where'd you go, Papa?
Scream as you might, no one hears you. and all you can see are gray trees and dark black soil. We move now from Melian in the forest to the same entrance that they used to run in there. Turning the corner are two drow women dressed in elaborate clothing and look through the mouth of the entrance to the forest. You know, even for a Banray, sending your own spawn into that forest, Devaskard or not, is downright villainous, says one adorned in garments of violet and black with a twisted smile on her face. Lolth tested me, and I did what was necessary. If we are to build this house in her image, there is no need for mistakes such as that one. Besides, her father's head will look nicely mounted above my mantle. Of the many daughters and sons of Ivana Bonray, the devil-cursed child is one that Drow society and Lolth herself want forgotten. However, this child's story was not over yet. We move back to you, Melian. You have run and screamed for hours. No one is coming. Your brain instantly switches to survival mode, remembering what your father had taught you. You begin to scavenge for anything to eat. The shock that your father would lead you here. Why? Where is he? He wouldn't abandon me, right? Tell me, what is Melian thinking right now?
Right now, she's focused on at least getting through the night. She's looking for a place to lay her head, to hunker down until she can actually um have a chance at possibly tracking her father down. But her other goal would be to get out of the forest, try to retrace her own steps and see if maybe she crosses her father's path
Okay.
at some point.
Make a survival check for me.
That would be another 22.
Perfect. You follow every instruction your father taught you. You retrace your steps only to find that the footprints are disappearing. It's almost as if the dirt itself is just a sponge. You begin to look around for any semblance of food, any mushrooms, any barrel stock, anything that would provide you with some sort of nourishment. And you find nothing. You begin to run and scream, trying to find some way, something, some form of hope. But no one is coming to save you. Hours pass and you find nothing. No food, no shelter, and no father. You can feel the damage to your vocal cords. Guessing that's where the iron taste is coming from. There has to be a way out of here, correct? Eventually, you do find the semblance of a broken tree stump, big enough for you to lay down on. What is going through your mind at this moment?
Um, First she's gonna check it over and make sure there's no nasty unwanted things
Yeah.
living within the tree stump.
Investigation
Um,
check.
I'm not great at that. But that is a 17.
Okay. Um, you look in and out of it, kind of following the instructions of what your father has taught you, and it looks safe, yeah.
Okay. She's gonna climb on top of it, and like use her cloak or whatever she's wearing to as like a blanket and curl her arm under her head before she kind of halfway sleeps. She doesn't really let herself fall fully into sleep because she is very nervous and very scared. Um, and she really just wants her dad.
As you lay there, half in and out of sleep, eventually everything goes black. Are you asleep? Are you dead? It's calm. What would you do at this point? All you see is black around you.
Um, I guess start looking around. If it's just blackness, she would be looking for any point of light or anything she could find and start heading towards that.
Okay? You begin to walk, and it's almost as if there is no floor, but you're not falling. You begin to slip further and further into this darkness, searching for a way out. We pan out again. To a small obsidian portal opening into this cursed forest. Walking out of it is a small winged sphinx creature. It begins to sniff around, looking for any sign of life. A few hours pass, and the creature stumbles onto a tree stump with a skeleton of a young elf resting on it. Its eyes open wide and runs over to the skeleton frantically. Is it too late? One by one, the creature begins to piece the full skeleton back together on the ground. Once the last bone is set in place, the creature walks over to the skull, places a black rose in a crack in its skull, and sits down, looking over its work. Its eyes begin to glow a greenish black, and the light starts to envelop the body of the young elf. The next thing that you hear is an incessant chirping noise as your eyes open. You are no longer hungry or tired, and all you see is this winged white sphinx creature jumping around and chirping at you, trying to wake you up.
Oh, I'm awake. I'm awake. Who are you? And she'll kind of reach out to try to like settle it, keep it from jumping around so much.
It reaches its head towards your hand and almost like a cat just kind of lets you begin to pet it.
Oh, aren't you sweet? Who?
It kind of like looks around really quick and kind of circles around you and then jumps up into your arms.
Oh, well, alrighty then. Well,
You,
she's. I was gonna say she's gonna look around the forest, and try to remember what was going.
I need you to roll a d20 for me.
Oh, just straight 20. Love that. 17.
Okay. Your eyes begin to look over the forest, this gray, dark, gas-filled area. You don't know what you're doing here. In fact, you don't know who you are. Y- It's it's very strange. The creature then kind of sees your puzzle look and just begins to chirp, and you can swear it's saying, Ruyn! Ruyn!
Hmm. Is that my name?
Ruyn!
Hmm. Really?
It's like it's trying to talk, but it's not developed enough yet. But it's learning. It's like the when a toddler is learning to speak, almost. It's very broken.
She, she'll kind of rub her head as though trying to shake off a fog or a haze and look down at the creature.
As you kind of are rubbing your head, you do notice something in your hair. It's a rose, a
Hmm.
black rose. You kind of can see it out of the corner of your peripheral vision.
She kind of like, will it come out of her hair?
No. You
Oh,
try to pull, you try to mess with it, and you don't feel like there's like a root in your head or anything like that, but it's just like it's a part of you.
but she like she'll try to run her fingers through the rest of her hair, and she doesn't feel like a stem for it or anything like that.
Mm-mm.
Oh, huh. Okay, that's a little odd. I don't remember that. Well, I don't remember much.
The creature snaps its head towards the forest, and you can hear a snapping twig.
Um, Instinctively, she goes into a crouch and tries to hide, like huddle away and see what exactly. She's gonna look around and try to see uh what made that noise.
Okay. Without a roll or anything like that, you kind of hunker down, and the creature just kind of stays on alert but follows your lead. And you see a mind flare, beaten, bruised, missing a tendril off of its maw. A voice enters your head almost as if a worm crawled its way into your brain.
Mm,
Please, I want no trouble. I just want to get somewhere safe.
um,
Are you all right? Look, I understand. I'm not here to harm you. I, it's been a hell of a day. Um, oh, and
um,
the creature passes out.
oh, Bruin will creep closer, very slowly, warily. Uh, she she doesn't remember anything, but she just has this instinctive, almost beaten in knowledge that these are not generally good creatures.
Correct.
Um,
It's almost as if that is ingrained in you, right?
mhm.
Okay.
um, and she will also like check herself for some kind of weapon in case she needs it, or pick up a branch.
You do feel around and you do see a branch. You the creature that you just met just kind of looks over to you and starts going, Grim, Grim, Grim.
Uh, gr- Grim?
Grim.
Oh,
And is kind
uh,
of looking back and forth between you and the creature that passed out in the mind flare.
um, I don't. Is that its name? Is that your name?
It
I don't
shakes
know
its
what your.
head yes to that's its name.
Oh, that's your name? Okay.
Grim.
Okay, nice to meet you, Grim. Do you know anything about this guy?
He shakes his head no, but kind of warily starts approaching it.
Okay. Um, I will get closer. Um, you said he is injured.
He is badly injured.
Uh,
This purple viscous liquid is just oozing out of certain gashes and the tendril that's missing.
is he wearing clothing?
It's very, very tattered clothing now.
Okay, well, then he's not gonna mind if I shred it some more. I would like to attempt some kind of first aid on
Okay.
him.
Make a medicine check, and I will say with advantage because Grim is going to be helping you.
Okay. Well, the advantage didn't help much.
It's enough to stop the bleeding. It's not pretty by any means, but you just instinctively start trying to cut off the wound so it'll stop bleeding. You start to put pressure. Okay. No, you're good. You're good. Okay. So you begin to administer first aid with the help of Grim. You start to take pieces of its clothing and tie off the open wounds, such as the one on its tendril. You start to
Mhm.
put pressure on the wounds to try to stop the bleeding as well. Grim kind of walks over, or like hops over to the tree line around you and grabs a stick and kind of takes it over to the leg and starts to wrap. It's very intricate, kind of what he is doing, but it's very basic first aid.
Okay.
But it seems like you are able to stabilize him.
Okay. Once I assume he is stabilized and not going to die, she's going to hunker down like a few feet away from him and keep a very close eye on him and the forest around them until he wakes up.
Okay. you do so for a few hours. It is as calm and eerily quiet as ever. Eventually, he does wake up. Oh, oh, goodness gracious. Kind of
She
looks
does still have
around.
that branch in her hands.
Yeah. Did did you do this?
Me and Grim, she'll kind of point at the little sphinx.
It almost looks confused. Like it doesn't understand why you would be so kind to him. Um, are you hungry at all? I am not good for much, but I can give you these little bit of rations that I have, and uh some company. Uh, he
Um,
immediately moves his hands to its head and just says, What have I done?
uh, what did you do? How'd you get so hurt?
Um, how much do you know of my kind?
Um, not much. I just get the feeling that you guys aren't generally, all that great. No offense, I think.
He chuckles and none taken. We definitely earned that rep for sure. Uh, let's just say there was a ruler of our housing, and I decided not to believe in the same things that it did anymore. And after renouncing said ruler, the entire colony turned on me.
Oh,
You, you, are you alright? You have a thing on your head. Um,
oh, the rose? Yeah, it won't
yes.
come out of my hair. I just woke up with it.
Oh, well, if if you would like, I still have some capabilities. Not physically, but and he kind of like taps his noggin. I can I can stay with you for the night if you would like. Keep each other company.
Um, sh- sure. You're not gonna try to eat me or something, are you?
If I have to eat another brain, I would vomit. I've always hated them. Foul, disgusting things. Ugh. Come, let us find. There should be a cave somewhere near here, or at least an alcove to where we can rest for the night. I can show you if you would like. I promise, no tricks. I'm just glad to
Um,
be in the presence of an ally, or companion.
Sure. I guess that's okay. I don't really know what I'm doing here.
Do any of us?
I
Maybe
don't
I
know.
can help explain some things. I mean, you are in the undead forest. They
Oh,
got to be a reason, right?
maybe? I don't remember. I think I was following someone.
Oh, child, if come, let's begin to walk as we discuss this. I feel we may be in for a interesting evening.
Oh, okay. And she'll get to her feet, and I guess she kind of scoops Grim up, uh, and will kind of motion for him to lead the way.
Okay. Yeah. As he turns, he uh says, "Oh, the name's Grazalax, by the way. Ah, what is yours?"
Ruin, I think.
Ruin.
That's what Grim called me.
Ruin and Grim.
Hmm.
I like it. Come, let us continue. He begins to walk. Do you follow?
Yes, she will
Okay.
follow him.
He
A
leads you
little
to.
warily.
Oh, yeah. Grim has not taken his eyes off of Grazalax the entire time.
That
Eventually, you
makes her
do.
even more wary. Sorry.
No, perfect. That's fine. That is completely understandable. There's. Eventually, you do reach the alcove that he was talking about. And he begins to kind of move some of this undead wood around with its psychic abilities. Uh, I'm. Would you like a fire, or I don't really know what I'm doing. Um, I can hide us, which, trust me, I understand. I can't stand our kind's reputation. So,
Um, I do actually have a question. Um, would she actually be hungry or cold or anything at this point in time?
she would not.
Mm, She she kind of shrugs and says, "No, I'm okay. I'm not cold
Oh,
or hungry really.
strange.
Are you hungry, Grim?"
Grim just kind of looks up at you and just shakes his head no and goes back to staring at Grazalax.
I think we're okay.
Very well. Um, I will leave a small opening in case you need to leave or anything like that. It's very strange talking to someone that's verbal out here. You you don't know why you're here. Not at all?
No, um, I woke up with Grim. chirping at me, and I don't remember anything really. I don't know how I got here. I think I was following someone,
Uh,
but I'm
and
not sure.
are you a drow? You have characteristics of a drow, but
Do I even know
also,
what that is?
um, I would say with your current stats, make a history check.
14.
I would say you would understand that you are
Heart,
heart.
at the very least.
Yeah. You kind of look
Uh,
around, you feel your ears,
oh,
and yeah.
huh. Um, y- y- yeah, I guess. And she kind of pats the horns. Well, partially, at the very least.
Fascinating. It's not every day a drow and a mind flayer talk. Oh, there's
I get the sense there's some bad blood between our races.
well, considering that mind flayers are known for consuming brains, inhabiting the bodies of others and turning them into mind flayers, and just overall mind control in general, we don't really have a good reputation, especially with Minzo Baronzen.
I don't think I lived there.
Strange. Okay. Well,
I
I
think that
just.
place is bad.
Oh, it is terrible. It is horrifying what they do there. But I cannot judge, as so is where I left. There's just. I don't understand why we have to be what we're told we have to be. I want to be a scholar. I want to go to school. I want to start. This might sound far fetched, but a society of brilliance.
Hmm. Yeah, I think that might be a good thing to work towards. I don't know what I want to do. I think I'm supposed to find someone.
Well, I can. Of course, you may never see me again, but if you would like, I can. Anything you remember, I can try to look for in my journeys.
I don't even know who I'm supposed to be looking for. Someone important, though. I
I'm
think.
terribly sorry. I am very tired. But I
Oh,
thank you for your, even though brief, hospitality. Even if you don't know who you are, don't change that aspect of you. And he collapses on the ground.
I will rush over and check him over, make sure that he hasn't like reopened any wounds or anything like that.
Everything seems intact. It seems he just, with moving the tree stumps and branches around to kind of hide off this little area, you're guessing that mixed with his injuries kind of caused him to.
Overtaxed him.
Yeah.
Okay. Um. All right, she'll settle in. Uh, does she feel tired at all?
You don't, but you do at the same time. It's very strange. It's as if your body is saying you need to rest, but your mind is saying, why? We don't need it.
Uh, she'll she'll kind of settle at the entrance to this alcove, kind of keeping an eye out on the rest of the forest, and try to relax and maybe rest.
Okay? You do eventually fall asleep. And it is the strangest sleep that you have ever had. You're not conscious, but you are. Until you feel something take you away. Your
What?
consciousness, your consciousness pulls out. You can see your body,
This is weird.
and then the scene changes.
Oh no.
You are almost like you are watching yourself in third person. You see yourself crouched down with Grim and Grazilax, hiding behind some of the trees out in the forest and staying low as a party of mind flayers leaves the area.
Oh.
You suddenly awake in a cold sweat. Grim just kind of staring at you, trying to nuzzle you, make sure you're okay.
I'm okay. I'm okay. I don't think we're gonna be okay for long if we stay here. I'm gonna go try to wake him up.
Okay. Some time has passed. Grazlex has had some time to recuperate. You go over and wake him. Oh, yes, yes.
I think there are more of your kind out there, and I think they're looking for you.
Where?
I don't know. I had a dream. Um, it was kind of weird.
Very well. What did you see in your dream?
Um, me, you, and Grim were hunkered down behind some trees as a group of mind flayers left the area. Um,
Second that you say mind flayers, his head immediately turns to the entrance. We need to
yeah.
hide. We need to hide immediately. You see his just demeanor completely change from almost stoic to frantic and panic. Um, uh, okay. The best place to do is is it gonna sound very strange? Uh, we need to get behind the trees that are moving. If we can get behind the trees that are moving, it is just enough to kind of almost blind you from this sentence. Um,
Okay,
yep, follow me. As
I will follow him.
he leads you out of the area, and you find trees that he's talking about. One by one, you guys kind of hide and hunker down in them. You stay quiet for what seems like hours. I need you to make a stealth check.
Okay, don't fail me now, dice. Okay, that is a 19.
Perfect. Quiet as a mouse. Scene changes for just a second as a party of mind flayers begins walking through this area that you and Grazlax have hunkered down in. You can't hear anything that they're saying because they're not speaking, but you see that they are wands out, daggers out, and searching every inch of this forest until eventually they pass. In your head, you hear, "We are good. Stay there."
She
He
hunkers
moves
down
over.
further.
Say what?
She hunkers down further.
Okay. He moves over to where he can see you. "Listen, I don't want you all caught up in this. You've done more than enough. Please, survive. The world needs more people like you. I will try to find you. But for now, head. Follow the cave. As long as you stay on the side of the cave to your left, you will find a way out of here."
She will nod, because I don't know if she can talk back in her head, so.
You can.
Um, don't, don't die. I kind of like you.
I kind of like you too. I'll try not to. Thank you for everything.
You're welcome.
And he runs.
She will stay hunkered down probably for another half hour to hour before she actually extracts herself from the tree, and does as he said, follows the cave, keeping it to her left.
You wander the forest for days, never once being hungry, only sleeping now and then just out of habit, with your companion Grim following every move and doing everything he can to help you. A few days pass, and you come to rest one night. You lay your head down and fall asleep, and another vision, another dream comes to you. But this time it is a very different scenario.
Mhm.
The vision starts with you being pulled in a direction of the forest you've not been before. Seems to move for a sped up few hours, eventually leading to a clearing in the forest that then continues down a tunnel. Your vision is then drawn to a family of drow being attacked by some demonic-looking creature. And you and Grim make it just in time to save the family and kill the demon. And then you wake up in a cold sweat again. What do you do?
Looks around. She looks around to get her bearings, and then immediately bolts in the direction she feels she needs to go to.
Okay.
Uh, deal with that.
Grim follows, sensing your urgency. You gather what little belongings that you have, if any, your stick maybe, and Grim, and follow the path that was shown to you. Eventually, the path does lead to an opening with a tunnel. And you freeze.
Huh?
You know exactly where you are.
Where the fuck am I?
You don't know why you know this, but this is the entrance that you came into this cavern. But it's almost as if your entire body is frozen. Grim notices this and kind of starts chirping and dancing around you, trying to get your attention. I need you to make a wisdom saving throw with your current stats.
23.
Very well. 23 was the DC.
Oh, God!
You come to your senses. Grim kind of shaking you, kind of nudging you the best he can, flying up and kind of bumping into you. You finally regain your senses, and you are able to continue forward. You continue until you reach the spot where the family should have been. And you find the family is no longer there. In fact, you see no signs of a skirmish, no signs of anything.
There's not even like a smell of sulfur in the air to indicate a demon was here or anything like that?
Correct. Nothing. You do eventually hear footsteps. You turn around.
Finding someplace to hide.
Okay? Make a stealth check for me.
Okay. 19.
Okay? I'm going to roll really quick. Just barely. A drow guard barely sees you.
Oh, no.
Draws his sword. Halt. State your business here.
I'm bolting into the forest.
You immediately feel this cold liquid enter your back as you turn and bolt. The drow has shot one of his poison arrows at you. I need you to make a Constitution saving throw.
Oh, God. 12.
Unfortunately, that does not succeed.
Damn.
You freeze. Your body falls to the ground, and you are now unconscious. The scene pulls back as Grim is trying to wake you up, but looking at the guards frantically. Take. Looks like another crazy one. Bingo to Valra. Figure out what to do with her from there. It's only 2 days to Velkenville from here. Hey, adventurers! Thanks for tuning in. Remember to smash that like and subscribe button, and don't forget to give some love to your bards.